I want to show you how spirituality is really no different than religion. I mean, they're both using the same principle of judgment. You know, in standard religion, they say your consciousness is sin, and then they offer God as a way to do away with the sin. Well, spirituality, basically what they say is your consciousness is low, and you must raise your consciousness to a stage of enlightenment. That is still a judgment just by saying to a human being that your consciousness is low. Let's just say your consciousness is sin. It's really the same concept. It says your mental structure is not right and here's how to fix it. We have a solution for it. Well, I found this YouTube video by Deepak Chopra, and I'm going to pick apart his philosophies of helping this girl, Donna, who's obviously stuck in capitalism and is miserable.
So today's question. Dear Deepak, I've been struggling for many years now. I feel stuck and unsure. I'm not clear about my life's purpose. I am at a job that once upon a time I was very passionate about. Unfortunately, over time, the love I once had has fizzled out, and it's just me working to get a paycheck now. I have no real hobbies and talents. Wrong. Everyone has talents. Everyone has unique talents. I'll come back to that. I have tried praying and meditating to find clarity, but nothing comes to me. I honestly feel as though I am just going through the motions and not truly living. I'm sad and often feel depressed. I feel as though I should be doing something, but I honestly just don't know what it is. Can you please help me? Thanks for listening, Donna. Okay, so Donna, let's take this step by step. So as human beings, we have certain needs, and I'll list them in a hierarchy. It's an extension of Abraham Maslow's hierarchy, but not quite. It's more than that. So first need is safety and survival. And the purpose of life at that level is to make a living, paycheck. You're doing that right now. The second need that comes after safety and survival is love and belongingness. So we need to always feel that we belong as part of a community, a human community that starts with our friends, and then, of course, no, it starts with family, then friends, then social interactions, then community.
Okay, number 2 is accurate. Belonging, love, family. The reason why that is accurate because it's a transfer of compassion from human to human. But let's listen into the rest.
The third need that we all have is for achievement. And in simple terms, that is, doing more than just getting a paycheck, to actually achieve a certain degree of status in the world. That's the third level.
Okay, level 3, achievement and purpose within capitalism. This is where I got a problem. Because achievement is of the self and really doesn't contribute to the whole if you look at achievement for the personality. So he's going to go into this more, and let's really hear what he says about achievement because it's just about the self.
The fourth level is creative expression. We want to all express our creativity, which all of us have. It's part of our soul, it's part of our being. The fifth need is I said creative expression, love and belongingness, achievement, survival and safety. So we should say the fifth need is higher consciousness and intuition and tapping into a bigger aspect of ourselves.
And there it is, the judgment. You need higher consciousness. Yes, your consciousness is not high enough. So let me teach you about higher consciousness. It totally dismiss what Donna is really experiencing. She is experiencing capitalism as a life system. She's caught in money and survival, and that is affecting her consciousness. Her job sucks, most likely, because most jobs do. There's only a few jobs that make sense. Those are the jobs like a surgeon, where a surgeon helps a person in need, or a dentist. You got a horrible toothache and you help the person fix their teeth. That is a transfer of compassion, a social worker that helps a kid. Very few jobs actually transfer compassion from human to human. We're caught up in these corporate systems of just stamping out, passing out paperwork, stamping out products, all these inhuman, heartless jobs. Let me give you this example. Artisans used to build a chair by hand. And it took time, and there would be pride installed into that chair because it would be well built and last long. So there was heart and soul in that chair. Well, today, workers are on assembly line assembling chairs. There's no artistry. All the heart and soul has been taken out. And so now the assembly line worker is really not servicing another human. So it leads to unhappiness, because the key to happiness, real happiness, is you are helping and serving others. Now, Deepak does cover that, but what he does not see is overall, the system of capitalism doesn't produce that type of lifestyle. Now, Deepak lives in a nice luxury style of getting to writing books and traveling around the nation, and he thinks he's helping people out, but what he's really doing is he's prolonging the system of capitalism. It's a status structure. Here is Deepak at the top, telling his followers, yes, I know how to improve your consciousness, when he can't improve your consciousness because your consciousness is tied to money and survival and the system that you're living. If he was truly wanting to help the human race, we don't need money anymore. It's totally unnecessary. We can take science and technology and automate all of these mindless jobs and free our minds from this survival. His number one category, survival, show up and get a paycheck. This system suppresses our creativity. It suppresses our heart. It suppresses our mind. It suppresses everything. He totally does not get that. He wants to be in the position of like religion. Religion, it's the same thing, whether you're a master, a teacher, a priest, or your congregation. It's all about saying your consciousness is screwed up. Here, let me offer you a solution to fix it. In the spiritual case, it happens to be higher consciousness, higher awareness. Listen to your inner self. Be creative. That's not what's broke. What's broke is the systems that we live, the systems that format our minds, like working on an assembly line, like doing menial labor that is mind-numbing dumb for 8 hours with a stupid boss that's telling you stupid stuff. That's what the majority of humans are living in some cubicle pushing paperwork so the corporation can make money on products that are killing the planet. That's the majority of human nature right now, corporatized into a system that cares more about making money than creativity. It's a nice little box of thought. Back to the point. Very few jobs actually transfer compassion from human to human. Deepak's job of writing about spirituality is not a transfer of compassion from human to human. It's about dictating how you should think about the world, how you can achieve higher consciousness, and then top it off, let's go to this. Let's go right to the heart of this. Right here. Look what he says.
How would you express what you're good at? Can you sing?
Seriously, Deepak, is that what you can offer? Is can you sing? That's like offering a black inner youth in a city, to play basketball to get out of the ghetto. I mean, it's unrealistic. Do you know how many singers we have in the world that have opened up their soul and who can sing beautifully? How many actors can open up their soul and act beautifully and transfer emotions? The system can't absorb them all. So you're offering a unrealistic thing of luck. It really takes luck to open your soul and be an artist and move up the ladder, the status structure that you impose. See, this is what wealth does. They sell you the American dream. They sell you that achievement, that status, that purpose. It's easy for them to sell it because they're already at the top. So then they'll say, yeah, you got to start moving up the status structure. The system works. It's a rigged system. This is why we pay for education. They don't want everybody educated. They want a certain portion of the population poor so they can do menial work. This is the whole nature of money. This is why we don't have a universal basic income. Deepak doesn't even address the real issues of what's happening in society. He's selling you the American dream. That's what wealth does. They sell you the status structure, the status quo. That doesn't improve humanity. Deepak, and he's not the only one. All the wealth does this. They prolong capitalism in this manner. They're not intelligent. They don't have special insights. They're not brilliant. What they are is they're delusional about the nature of reality. I mean, look at what Deepak is presenting Donna. It's really completely delusional thought. There's no science in it. There's no compassion in it. There's no, Donna, I understand what you're going through. It's a bullshit system that you're living. No, but your consciousness is screwed up. You're the problem. No, Donna, you're not the problem. You're a beautiful soul caught up in the bullshit of how civilization is constructed. That's the problem, Deepak. Now, when I mean science, I mean the science of the environment dictating the majority of behavior. And we can use Donna as an example. She's unhappy because she reports to the environment of work with a status structure of a stupid boss Monday through Friday, and it makes her miserable. Her work environment makes her miserable. It controls her thoughts. She's depressed and sad. We can make a huge list of jobs that are heartless and mindless, that do this to us. Selling a car, sitting on a car lot. Selling a car is a mindless, stupid job because you're manipulating that human into your dealership for your sales manager, for the owner. You're working that status structure so somebody at the top can become wealthy. Driving a truck, hauling our goods around through the nation is mindless, stupid work. It makes you dumb, that environment. Transporting around all our materialism. Make a list of the stupid jobs. Being a clerk inside a retail store, you're stuck in the store for 8 hours a day helping people buy bullshit. That's a mindless, stupid job. Sure, there's a little pleasure in talking to people and communicating, but the overall premise is you're there to take their money out of their wallet so some corporate thing at the top can get wealthy. You're working the status structure. Oh, here's another one. A banker. And this is a great example of how the environment dictates our behavior. A banker loves his family. He loves his kids. He loves his wife. But when he goes to the bank and he's got another family in front of him that can't make the mortgage and he has to foreclose on the home, where does all his love go? I mean, it's there. It's in there because he loves his family, he loves his kids, but he shows up to this environment that is dictating his behavior, and he can't transfer love to this family who's buying a house. He kicks them to the street. That's not a conscious problem. He can go through all the spiritual advice he can find, but when he shows up to that work, that job, Monday through Friday, he's got a set of corporate protocols he's got to follow. That is dictating his behavior. We are corporized. Wake up, people. That's reality. Keep making that list of bullshit jobs in your head. I mean, that's what we live. We live these bullshit jobs that are making us unhappy. There's no contentment. There's no inner development. There's no creativity. It's just a mindless lifestyle. So here's a little more of the heart of the situation. Look at what he says next.
Do you love traveling? Do you love cooking? What's something you're so good at that when you're doing it, time flies and it doesn't seem like work? So when you do that, then you'll always find people who need that expression of yours. And now you're moving up at the level of achievement, recognition, what people call fame and fortune, which is part of our growth. So at this point, you can also ask yourself, how do I create the best life for me in every way, in my relationships, in my work?
And there it is. The achievement, the recognition, you're moving up where fame and fortune becomes a part of your growth. That is not growth. That is glorification of the self. We have 7.6 billion people on the planet. We all can't be famous and wealthy. We all can't sit around and write books. We all can't sit around and become a gourmet chef. We all can't sit around and make music for everybody. Not in this system of capitalism where we have these menial jobs of piece and crap together so we can keep buying this stuff. See, under a resource-based economy, when we automate all these silly little jobs of survival, then we just live. Our consciousness is not screwed up by money. It's not screwed up by capitalism. We're not competing against each other. See, that competition is the achievement thing that he wants to keep in place. And the reason why he wants to keep it in place is because he is at the top level of wealth. He's not at your level, my level, of just getting by, of a middle-class income with a stupid job that is repetitive, boring, and dumb, and totally uncreative. See, he gets to create. He gets to write. He gets to travel and do lectures. And he thinks that that's his purpose. I'll go back to what I said earlier. If he really cared about humanity, he would care about tearing down every structure of status, whether that's thought from higher conscious to lower conscious, or money, whether it's a lot of money to poor money. It's all a status structure. And there's only one way to tear down that status structure, and that is through a resource-based economy. Now, these spiritualists and the wealthy people of the world, well, let's just go back to the spiritualist. I mean, they think love is going to heal everything. Like love is a master plan. Okay, what is love's master plan? Can it change the banker when his corporate structure controls his behavior? Can it change the car salesman from manipulating another human into a car? Can it change the truck driver so he's not sitting behind a truck for 8-10 hours a day becoming stupid? Can love change the education system? Can love change the status structure of wealth and poor? Not really. But what can is technology and science, by applying science to the environment. I encourage you to research the Venus Project, because what we really need to do is capitalism will always be a status structure. That needs to disappear if we are going to make humans enlightened on a wide scale. And we can do that by automating all these stupid jobs. We can do that by eliminating money from the environment. So now our behavior is not dictated by money or corporate interests. Under a resource-based economy, the status structure is gone. And we're not doing this survival stuff. I mean, Deepak said the number one thing is survival, showing up for a paycheck. That's not a goal. That shouldn't be ingrained into our human nature. We can do away with that survival instinct now through technology by automating the planet, freeing humans from stupid work, from money, from the status structure. Then we can start creating compassionate work, not jobs, work, fun work. See, we create systems that transfer compassion to other humans. That's love. We're building systems that transfer love. This idea that love will save the world without changing the system, that somehow magically we're all going to love each other. Well, let's say we did love each other. What would we do? We would build systems that transfer our love to other humans. And we can use technology to do that. We rebuild our social structures with love, and not sit around waiting for this magical energy to fix everything. See, love is an action. It's not a thought. It's an action that you put into the environment. Love only occurs when you transfer it to another human. It doesn't just occur in the brain. Otherwise, that's just la-la land of how you're perceiving something. It's your own internal workings that doesn't really transfer anything. If we tear down capitalism and move to a resource-based economy, we'll be open and free. The environment that we walk into will be a loving environment that transfers love from human to human, versus the status structure that doesn't trickle down compassion or money. The biggest lie of them all. See, this is why Deepak doesn't have any real insight. He's not intelligent. He's not brilliant. He's just a medical doctor who worked up the status structure and became famous. And we idolize him. Idolization is not good for your mind. Stop idolizing the wealth of the world. Because when you do, that maintains the status structure that's making you miserable. These are very advanced concepts of thought that happen to be based in reality and not delusional. So to wrap this up, let me tell you why Donna is depressed and sad. Like most Americans, she's probably living a stupid job Monday through Friday that is heartless and mindless. It's not contributing to society. Her creativity is completely suppressed, and it's making her miserable. Deepak doesn't cover that one bit. He just says, go out and find a better job. Chances are the next job is going to lead down to the same path because it will be a heartless and mindless job. Most jobs are like that. That's Donna's problem. She lives in a crappy system. It's not a consciousness problem. It's not a problem of thought. She's caught like the rest of us in a system that doesn't work for everybody. It only works for the wealthy who are lucky enough to climb the ladder. Believe me, there's a lot of skilled people out there right now who aren't climbing that ladder because that ladder can't take all these people up to the top. Someone's got to stay down at the bottom to do the bullshit work. The system is rigged that way. It generates itself that way.
The idea that you must be successful is not true. The idea that you must tap into your soul to achieve success is also not true. Those unreal ideas come from capitalism. All wealth is delusional straight from the unreal nature of money. They will inherently support what is best for the self. That is the type of personality capitalism creates. So why are we blaming personal consciousness when we are products of a system? Human consciousness is neither high or low. It falls into the category of intelligence versus stupidity. Intelligence leads to compassion and stupidity leads to a distortion of reality. Learn to become a systems thinker under Jacques Fresco's idea of a resource-based economy, and let's change every aspect of how we live. And why should we do this? Because every idea that does not encompass a systems approach is of the self and terribly unintelligent to the needs of Earth.